My name's Sara. I'm a musician and composer, and for the last 9 months I have been composer in residence at the Graphene Institute at Manchester University. My commission was to spend time in the science department in the Graphene Institute to identify the commonalities between a career in music and composition and a career in scientific research.
I thought it's quite brave in having help, because typically nobody would be surprised if a scientist would say that he or she got inspiration from a piece of music or a piece of art, but the other way around is quite rare still, and I was quite surprised and quite pleased as well.
So it's the way that I think science is perceived in this country, and I think during my resident period I found myself getting frustrated about this, because it is a very exciting, progressive, fascinating world, and we receive it at its most convenient point, you know, with an iPhone or something like that, and that's what we're supposed to be getting excited about, the convenience of it. But obviously they're using their imagination as a starting point, deciding on what they're going to work on. They're asking themselves questions about how the world works. That's a very creative thing to do, and I think, you know, in music's own way, that is again what's happening.
I was very excited because I like to connect things that may look very distant from each other, and I've also been fascinated in, well, I also like music, so I was excited by the idea to work with a music composer for the first time in my life. And people don't realize how much creativity there is in science, you know, because they think, oh, they just do an experiment, they collect data, they maybe plot it, analyze, and it's finished. But actually, you need to think about the experiment. You need to always have a new idea, and if you really want to do great science, you need to come up with an idea that can change our society, or be innovative, or changing our life somehow. So you need a lot of creativity, of course. So from this point of view, I think there is a similarity with music, where you connect together sounds, notes, and then at the end you get this beautiful piece of music. I think the process is exactly the same.
I decided to go with the number 6 because obviously the relevance to the molecular structure of graphene. So it's a 6-movement piece, and we use that in the time as well quite a lot. I really wanted the arrangement throughout the piece to sound quite traditional. That was there to represent the history of the university and of just the wonderful kind of scientific history that Manchester has. And with graphene being such a progressive and potentially fast forward kind of way of looking at different things that it can kind of like contribute to, where it can come into different appliances in our world. I think it was just kind of to really kind of be delicate, to kind of treat the fact that it's a combination of old and new, it's different methods of working, and all of these things were things that kind of inspired the kind of emotional journey of the music, really. So the first movement is about the self-motivation, second identifies a kind of find and it's a moment of discovery, third represents progress, and then fourth kind of regresses back to a period in time which is inspired by a book called Flatlands, which is a kind of Victorian satire on a two-dimensional world. The fifth movement was there to pay tribute to pioneering female composers and scientists of the past, of which I'm sure there were plenty that went unnoticed, and so just as a mark of respect I wanted to kind of find a moment in the music to do that.
The Graphene Suite was something very unique for the Graphene Week conference, because usually this conference is totally about science, and here for the first time we had something a little bit different, and actually we had a lot of people from the conference attending the live show, and everybody was very excited and were asking where to buy the CD and so on. So I think he had a really good feedback, and I hope that within the Graphene flagship these kind of projects will carry on, maybe with Sara, but also with other form of arts and so on, to allow to put science and art and music closer to each other.
It's been wonderful playing at Martin Harris Centre. It's such a beautiful venue, somewhere that we don't often go if you're playing with a live rock band kind of sound, and beautiful to hear the ensemble just play for the first time and hear it in that space with a really appreciative audience. Playing at the Museum Science and Industry too, that again quite an unusual place to perform, but just wonderful that we're kind of bringing all of these worlds together as the result of the project, and just great to hear it in different environments and see it get perceived and taken in different ways with different audiences. The music itself was recorded at Martin Harris, but I'm looking forward to spending some time after this project now to turn that into a recording, which I hope to release.
Here tonight to see artists working alongside scientists in this fantastic Museum of Science and Industry, which is a celebration of Manchester's, pioneering spirit, is, I think, hopeful for the future.
Thank you.